Hello, small patrons, and welcome to Mr. Dan's Real World. It is April, small patrons, and this month we will be celebrating Earth Day. Common phrase used around Earth Day is reduce, reuse, and recycle. And these are all ways that you can help reduce waste in the world. Now, some of you small patrons may not live in a place where recycling is possible, and reducing the amount of products you use might be more difficult. So Mr. Dan is going to talk about ways that you can reuse common household items to help cut down on waste. Let's talk plastic bags. Now, you might be doing pickup for groceries during these pandemic times, and you may notice that you have more plastic bags lying around the house than usual. But what do you do with them? Well, one thing you can do is you can make Plarn. But Mr. Dan, you ask, what is Plarn? Thanks for asking, small patron. Plarn is when you take a plastic bag, you cut it up, and you use it like yarn. For example, you can use plastic bags to weave a mat or a bookmark or whatever together. So this is a project that Mr. Dan and some of the other librarians here at the Nixon Library in Jacksonville have been participating in. So this is going to be one part of the Plarn mat that we are making. And once we finish all of the parts, we will sew the parts together with more Plarn. But what if you don't have a weaving loom? You can make one like this with some cardboard, some string, and some plastic bags. Check out the tutorial Mr. Dan made. The first thing you will need, small patrons, is a piece of cardboard and a ruler. You can use the ruler to mark out the notches you'll cut into the cardboard. Turn the cardboard to the other side and do the same thing. Now, take your scissors and cut where you made the lines for the notches. Do this to the other side as well. Now, take some yarn, if you have any lying around the house, and pull it through the first set of notches. Now that part right there is going to be the tail. What you're going to do is you're going to want to tape that down so the yarn does not fall off the loom. Now, you're going to weave the strings of yarn through the notches that you cut into the cardboard. Once you get to the end, you want to tape down the other tail as well, so the yarn doesn't fall off. And now, small patrons, your Plarn weaving loom is complete. Now that you've completed your loom, small patron, it's time to make the Plarn. Grab a generic shopping bag that you got from your grocery store and lay it flat. You're gonna cut the bottom and the handle parts of the grocery bag. Now, lay your grocery bag flat and start to fold it long ways. Take your scissors and cut long ways on the folded grocery bag. Kind of like this. Do this until you run out of grocery bag to cut. Now you're going to take your strips of Plarn and tie it to the first strip of yarn on your weaving loom. And now you're going to do a process called over and under, going over the first string of yarn and under the next one. Do so until you get to the last string of yarn on your loom. Then on the second row, do the opposite of what you did on the first row. If you're running low on Plarn, tie a second strip to the first strip to make a continuous strip of Plarn. And now you can continue with your weaving, small patron. Another reusable item in your house might be an old t-shirt. It may not fit, or it's got some holes or some stains in it and it's not quite fashionable anymore. Mr. Dan will show you how to turn that old t-shirt into a tote bag. And for this project, you don't need to know how to sew, which is great because Mr. Dan doesn't know how to sew. Alright, grab an old t-shirt and a pair of scissors. You are going to cut the sleeves off of both sides of the old t-shirt. This is gonna serve as the armholes for your tote bag. Now, turn your t-shirt inside out. This will be important later on. Now you're gonna make a real deep cut around the collar area. Okay, now we're gonna work with the bottom of the t-shirt. Now, cut some small strips at the bottom of the t-shirt. Once you're done cutting strips at the bottom of the t-shirt, you're going to tie those strips, starting with the top strip of the first one and the bottom strip of the second one. You can just do a basic knot here. And follow this pattern of tying across the bottom of the t-shirt. Mr. Dan recommends that you do this about 2 to 3 times, just to make sure that the bottom of your t-shirt tote bag is secure. As you see, the t-shirt is going to start bunching up and take a more tote bag form. Once you've done that about 3 to 4 times, you can turn your t-shirt right side out. And now you have a lovely tote bag. Look at this. Look at the fashion. Look at the matching. It's glorious. It's righteous. Here comes the money shot. Boom, there it is. And now you're ready to go. But don't forget your mask. Righteous. Well, small patrons, that's all the time we have for this week. Remember, this planet is the only planet we've got, and we all have to do our part in taking care of it. That may be reducing our waste, reusing items, or recycling. That can also be continuing to wear our masks to protect the most vulnerable in our society, continue to wash our hands frequently, and just being kind to one another. So remember, small patrons, be righteous to one another, take care of each other, and Mr. Dan, we'll see you later.